Hello and welcome to Ori and the Will of the Wisps for the road to GotY 2020. There will be some visual spoilers in this. There's nothing I can do about that. But I will do my best not to spoil the story of this game. Because I absolutely adore this game. This game is beautiful. It's beautiful art-wise, beautiful music-wise, beautiful story-wise. With some really fun combat and a direct evolution over the first game in a way that more games want to be, you know, and aren't. I think that Ori and the Will of the Wisp is maybe the perfect sequel because, unironically, I don't want to play Blind Forest. I want to play Will of the Wisp. Every time I even think about going back to Blind Forest, my brain goes, or we could just play Will of the Wisp again, which is great. That's exactly what you want out of a sequel. There's not much to say about this game without spoiling it, to be honest. So, for the spoiler-free section, I will say that Ori and the Will of the Wisp has really fun combat, has a really engrossing world. There's so much to explore in Ori and do. Just a full map of stuff to do, you know? But not like in the open world style of, oh, you have to do these objectives in this order. You kind of can just go and do them in the order you want to do them in. There's a lot of things you could be doing at any time, but you don't have to be doing any one of them. Other than the main story, that is. And so, you really have a lot of freedom of choice in how you want to do it. How you want to fight, how you want to approach combat. It's just options. And again, as we've said many times over the course of this series and many others, I love when games give me options. I would prefer a game to give me the option to do things as compared to forcing me to do things a specific way. There we go. The movement mechanics in this game are so good. Let's see, we have... where is it? Yeah, we have the light burst that we could also use to get extra height off of. We have... just so much freedom of movement. By the end of the game, you can kind of just go. You have so many options. There's also like charms that you equip. Spirit shards. And those can give you even more options when it comes to moving. You have your inventory and all the various different things you can do over the course of it. This game is just really fun to play and really rewarding to dig into. By like the middle point of the game, it was one of my favorite Metroidvanias to move in. And I know you may go, well, to move in, that's a weird thing to classify things by. But as I've said many times on this channel, I love good movement systems in video games. Like, I like moving around in a game. And when you give me options that let me really just dig into that, I'm going to have more fun than I would otherwise. I messed that up. I was trying to do... what's the button again? There's a leap. And I can't remember the button press to do it. But you have to be, like, on a wall. That's not what I meant to do, but okay. F sticky. I might have taken it. It shot's so cool, too. There's so many cool abilities, man. Like, I wish that by the end of the game, I wish I had a couple more shard slots so I could equip more. Because I was just having so much fun with them all. This game is just so good. And I got everything. I did everything. Got all the stuff. I can actually take this off now. I was exploring and gathering up the last couple things in the world with Secret on. Let's do... probably Spirit Light to do extra damage, since we're not going to need it to upgrade anything anymore. Alright, ability-wise, let's... just, there's so much you can do. It's incredible. And you wind up at the end of the game having so many movement abilities that you kind of don't have to do them in the way that it's expected you to do them in, you know? Like there, I could have used the right-click jump, and instead I used an air dash followed by quick movement. It's just, there's so many options. I love this game. We'll go into spoilers now, because I don't really have much more to talk about that's not spoilers. But where the story goes in this game is really good. Everything that winds up happening with Ku and with... Oh, we should pick up that health. Oh. I could have hit those projectiles back if I'd been smart. Everything that happens with Ku and with Ori by the end of the game, the stuff with the various guardians that you meet is all super interesting to me. This game just, it's really fun, and the story that it has is really good. Wish I could remember how to do the thing that I'm thinking of doing, but it might be something that we get in the final area, and thus we don't have access to it right now as well. Oh, that was a mistake. But, like, even when I make those mistakes, I still have options to be able to get out of it, you know? It's just crazy to me what all you can do movement-wise in this game. That's not how I meant to do that, but we did it anyway. And I am just damaging through, or eating damage to get through a bunch of stuff right now. But again, I just kind of want to run around in this game. The art is so beautiful. The music is so beautiful. This is just a great game. Like, there are other games that I think do story better, per se, you know? And other games that I think maybe have better individual gameplay or movement systems. But I think what really makes Ori special is that it all comes together so well here. This is not OW. This is not just another roguelike. I almost said roguelike. Metroidvania with stuff going on in it. It's a Metroidvania that has all of, like, high quality everything, you know? The combat is good. The movement is good. The story is good. The music is good. I would even go so far as to say each of those individual things are great. We already got this. We don't need it in here. We already got everything. We have to go this way. This game is just really, really well done, and I feel like there's no words that can really sell how I feel about it. Like, there are games that came out this year that I like more, that have way more flaws than Ori. Whereas, after Ori and the Blind Forest, I had a laundry list of things that I think could have been done differently that would have made the game more enjoyable for me. At the end of Will the Wisps, I just kind of wanted the game to be longer. And it's not short. It is not a short game already. But I wanted more anyway. I wanted to be able to play more, you know? It's just a really well-made game. We'll go a little bit further here, and then we'll stop just running around and being excited. Also not how I meant to tackle that, but it's fine. Alright, what I meant to do this time was bring a different E. So we can do stuff like that. There's just so many options that you have, and your movement abilities, and The ability, again, to warp and wind up in very different areas. I do want to show off another area before we go, though. Because so far I've showed off, like, dim forest areas. But I want to show off this area over here. Because I think the Luma pools are such a surprising area in how beautiful they are. Like, all of these areas, I think, are drastically different from each other. But this will be the last thing that we show off in this video. Because, again, I'm trying very hard not to spoil too much. Because I want people to play this game. But, like, look at how beautiful this area is. Look at the Luma pools. This area is incredible. Got this little water right here where a Moki was fishing earlier on. It's nuts how much work went into making each of these areas visually distinct from each other. I love it. I love it so much. Another thing I love too is the music of this area comes back in the boss fight for this area, which is crazy cool to me. I love it when games do stuff like that. This is just a really great game that I think everybody should try. Again, there were other games that I liked more this year for very subjective reasons, but this is probably the best game that I played this year. Just to be honest, it's got so much good about it. We'll get to the top of the waterfall here. Oh, we didn't open up the way first. It's okay, we can do it here. Oh. I actually want to go down to the end of this area over here. So we'll warp down there and then we'll head that way and then we'll end it. Because I think that view is spectacular. Again, just, I don't know how many times I can say it. I know these are always very rambly and this one probably the most so. But just a beautiful game that is so incredibly well done. Up there, in my opinion, with like Symphony of the Night. When it comes to some of the best roguelikes, I did it again. Hades is on my mind. When it comes to some of the best, here we go. The best Metroidvanias that exist. They did such a good job with this game. And I cannot wait to see what happens in the next one. If there's even going to be a next one. All that said, though, I've been Trey. It's been the Full Spectrum. Remember to always enjoy the full spectrum that Ori and the Blind Forest, nope, Ori and the Will of the Wisps has to offer.